Sorry, I'm just getting some information.
I love that one of his counters is that, yeah, we lied, but like it's a win-win, you know what I mean? Everybody made money. That's a very cool way to try to defend yourself, where it's like, yeah, whatever, shut the fuck up, everybody made money. Azan's tax evasion accountant, do you think that he's going to shift the blame over to his accountants and have them eat it? Because there's internal auditors or internal accountants and external ones, and I know the external one talked today. How does he get out of this? He just like changes it to a different name, sets up a new LLC, throws the account under the bus, tries to lower the punishment because it's at $250 million right now. Just pull an Eric Adams and say your CPA made a mistake because he recently became homeless. I forgot about that, dude. That is, God, he's so sick. Eric Adams is such a fucking freak, dude. The Daily Beast. Donald Trump apparently calls in a massive McDonald's order at the New York City courthouse. Respect.
The judge made a huge ruling last week saying that there was fraud in some of elements of this case and penalizing Trump and his sons and the Trump organization, taking away some of the business certifications as well. And we'll see if he hands down huge penalties in the amount of dollars. That's one thing that the state's attorneys did say before they wrapped up their side of the thing, saying that they asked the judge to bar the Trump family from doing business in the state of New York. So again, things are very fluid right now. Of course, we're going to continue to get you updates from inside that courtroom.
Trump's hot lawyer is why I don't have a jury too. I was so right about her. That's so funny. Wait, she's the one who fucked it up? Oh, I love her. The RGB one. Mind-blowing. Legal experts warn that lawyer's incredible screw-up is very ominous for Trump. Another video game attorney L. Bro, honestly, you can't be fucking hating on Donald Trump for hiring her. The problem is, I said when she first came into the fray, I said that he hired her specifically to do like external communications from the legal team because she's hot, which I think she's a media personality first anyway. She has like a fucking shitty ass legal degree from, I think, like the Bahama law school or something. Like, I forget where. But I mean, not that it matters. I mean, you still have to fucking pass the bar. But oh, I wasn't wrong. Okay, she got a Widener Commonwealth law degree in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. No, it's not the American Samoa University. Yeah, she went to Widener Commonwealth Law. It's in the bottom 25%, 147th best school in the nation. It's like in tier hell, barely accredited ass fucking university. And she was hired specifically to be the media person. And she was originally a media person. I'm just shocked that like they actually made her do like real lawyering. Alina Habba sued for being a gross racist hell boss. Defendants Alina Habba and Michael Madayo seem to particularly enjoy listening to and rapping along with what is generally perceived and classified as gangster and hip-hop music to energize, motivate, and otherwise pump themselves up prior to making court appearances, alleged the complaint filed by Nasiah Drayton in the Superior Court of Middlesex County, New Jersey. Drayton was the only African-American employee in Habba's shop, describes feeling uncomfortable with her boss, regularly blasting and singing along with graphic lyrics, replete with the N-word and demeaning references to women and their anatomy, as one does in a law office, obviously. Okay, I would love for her to come on stream. That's not a joke. She can defend Donald Trump and then tell us what video game she plays. Anyway.
As you know, we're not entitled to a jury, which is pretty unusual in the United States of America. So we think it's very unfair that I don't have a jury. But the judge's last statement was very fair. And if I read it right, I'll let perhaps one of the lawyers speak to it. But Cliff, maybe you'll speak to it if you would. But the way I interpret that, and the way everyone else in the room seems to interpret that, is that the statute of limitations.
That's awesome. Hey, Alina Habba, please come on the show and explain to us what games you have in that Asus ROG laptop and also why you forgot to request a jury for the trial. Please and thanks. But the thing is, she might be a gamer, but that doesn't mean she's a good gamer. She might be a G, but that doesn't mean she's GG. Oh my God, I hate myself. I'm so fucking stupid. Why am I like this? I'm just so fucking annoying and awful. And if I wasn't like at least average or maybe marginally above average looking, I would have gotten zero benefits in society. All right, let's continue
room,
with this.
but a lot being laid out about how this case is going to look, and we're hearing it could last as long as 3 months, and we do fully expect, guys, Trump to take the stand at some point. Just before they finished those opening statements, they said that they do want to bar the Trumps from doing business in New York, and this is where his empire, started. If you remember, it's a very significant trial, and like you said, the Attorney General is asking for $250 million, which doesn't seem much to the Trumps, but the judge is the one who makes the discretion of how much he's going to penalize for finding.
First of all, the trial in and of itself shows that $250 million is a lot to Trump. If you pay attention to the fucking literal points in the trial, you would have realized that, oh, fuck, that is actually a lot of money for someone like Donald Trump. It's a lot of money for anybody, but certainly for someone like Donald Trump, who apparently is in court right now because he lied about his net worth, which was supposed to amount to $1 billion. And he lied about it and said it was $3.6 billion. The other side of this is that these courts are, in my opinion, they are designed specifically. Wait, does Hassan defend Trump? Always, brother. I love Donald Trump. He's my favorite. He's the greatest president of all time. I especially love the tax cuts that he gave to the wealthy. I thought that was fire. And then sunsetted the tax cuts that the working poor got because fuck them. They need to be more productive. They need to know their place. I love Donald Trump. What's not to like, dude? He made America great. He gave corporations massive tax cuts at a time when corporate profits were sky high. He deregulated all the fucking federal agencies that were barely doing a decent job to begin with. He put a psychopathic fundamentalist Christian zealot like Betsy DeVos, who spent her entire fucking life destroying public schooling in the state of Michigan so that she could do that for the rest of the country, which I love. She's also personally related to Eric Prince, who is a war criminal who should literally be tried under the International Criminal Court, but we can't do that because he's too rich and too powerful. Love that. That's a sidestep though. Eric is whatever. He's who cares about him? Yeah, what's not to like about Donald Trump? He showed attack plans to Kid Diddler Rock. I mean, Evil Hassan be like, feed the rich? Hell yeah, dude, feed the rich. Exactly. Nobody wants to work anymore. That's what I say all the time.
Whichever way he chooses on these issues at hand in this trial. So it's going to be significant. And it's so interesting as we watch the beginning of this, before opening statements even started, about how Trump made all these comments attacking James, as he hasn't been shy about doing, attacking the judge, which again, he hasn't been shy about doing, not even addressing Letitia James when he walked into the courtroom today. And, the judge is the one who's going to make those decisions, not a jury. So we're going to...
That's a bit of a pussy move that he has like Twitter fingers, but like when he sees Letitia James in person, he doesn't have the smoke. Kind of a coward move, if you ask me. Like, what's up, bro? You afraid? Huh? That was going on? You call her a thug all the fucking time online.
What we heard from Trump's attorney, as Bryn was laying out, no victims, there was no intent to defraud, there was no unjust profits, and there were no victims.
Yeah. That is a valid defense to the remaining counts. Again, important to note, the judge has already ruled in favor of Donald Trump before the trial on one of the counts, but these are the remaining counts. That is a valid defense. I want to hear what the AG's response to that is going to be.
It was a victimless fraud, dude. It's fucking awesome.
How you're going to cross-examine them, because now you're making your case not to, in this case, 6 civilians, but to not just the judge, but a judge who knows this case. He's probably the foremost expert on this case. So that really changes the entire atmosphere here.
I mean, he's not wrong. I said this, I think the first time that we found out about this, like Donald Trump, just like Stalin, is a bit of a bank robber. Bank robberies are victimless crimes. He defrauded a fucking bank to get better conditions on a loan. Am I going to stay true to my genuine perspective about banks and say that like robbing a bank is cool and also a victimless crime, even when Trump does it? Yeah, I think so. I think the real shitty part about it is, like, on the one hand, he's inflating the value. On the other hand, he's deflating it for lowering his tax burden. I think what he should do, like the proper thing to do in this situation, is take that assessment, that appraisal that he utilized when getting the loan, and force him to pay taxes on it. This fucking piece of shit is still operating in the state of Florida as though Mar-a-Lago is worth $20 million. He actually sued to ensure that the appraisers still considered Mar-a-Lago to be a $20 million property. Pay taxes on a $750 million property, please. I would love that. That would be justice served. I don't give a shit about you stealing money from the banks, but I do give a shit when you're stealing money from the government. What? Oh my God. How did they film it like that? Bro, this is so perfect. Oh,